Have you ever wondered what makes one virus more prevalent than another? With all the news coming out about this disease and the other disease, and we should be afraid of this one, and such city is locking down, we wanted to build out a specific model that helped us predict the outcome of an epidemic or virus over time. And so I'm going to show that model with you here. And if you want access to the free Power BI file that we use to develop all the metrics behind it, then I'm going to give a link in the description below. A lot of research went into understanding epidemics and how they spread over time, and what specific calculations and studies go into understanding epidemics. And so with any new epidemic and or virus that comes out, you're going to have an R0 value. This R0 value is what's called the reproductive rate. That's the rate at which one case can affect and or produce one or two different cases afterwards, or the number of cases that originate from one specific case. And so if our R0 value is 2, what that means is that one specific case can reproduce two other cases. This is one of the most important metrics to understand in any virus, because this determines how many cases there will be in a specific population. The other metrics we have for this Monte Carlo simulation is the number of cases at the breakout, the total population size, the count of those who are immunized, the number of travelers coming in and out of that population per day, the percentage of those infected who are traveling, and the fatality rate. Now, all of these have an interplay together and have a relationship that help to predict the number of cases over time. So if you have something like the coronavirus, which has an R0 value of 2, between 2 and 3, what that means is that any one case will reproduce 2 additional cases. Likewise, the fatality rate for something like the COVID virus was really low. It was like less than 0.5%. What that means is that you're going to have a great number of cases, but you're going to have a lower fatality rate. So as you can see, the fatalities are on this y-axis here, and the total cases in at-risk population are here. So over time, your at-risk population goes down as your total number of cases go up if you can only get this virus once. The other side of this is that if you increase your immunity count to, let's say, half of the population, what that means is that you're going to have a less at-risk population, and then you're going to have less at-risk cases and or at less total cases over time. You're also going to have less fatalities. So for example, if we have our immunity count for a population size of 2 million at, let's say, 100,000, what that means is that you're going to have the total number of cases at the end of your pandemic to equal to 1.8 million, and you'll have about 4,000 fatalities. But if you increase your immunity count to, let's say, 1 million out of the 2 million, what that means is that you're going to now have fatalities of 2,000 people. So that's less the fatalities if you have a higher immunity count, etc. Now let's take a look at this latest scare of the pox, the monkeypox, right? And that was about a scare of about 1.5 weeks, where you had a news cycle that was running for about 1.5 weeks, where there were certain cities in Europe that shut down, but for the most part, nobody really cared. And the reason why is because for the monkeypox, you had a reproductive or R0 value of 1 or less than 1%. What that means is that you're just going to flatline out the number of cases, but your fatalities could go up over time. And so the World Health Organization, which is notorious for overestimating your R0 value and your fatality rate, what they're going to predict for a population size of 2 million is that your fatalities are going to be around 1,500 or 1,700. All this to say is that we really wanted to put numbers towards these pandemics that were going to happen and or going to be highlighted, so that we could understand if they were going to be very prevalent and be a big deal, or if they were just going to be able to be taken care of before it became an epidemic or a pandemic. So thanks for watching. Like I said before, if you have any questions about this model, I will leave two links below. One would be the link to the live version we have online, and then the other would be a link to give you access to the Power BI file we use to develop these metrics for this Monte Carlo simulation.